All right, welcome back everybody. Dan here for another video, and we are in a race room for a video today because the guys over at RaceRoom Racing Experience have dropped two new cars that you can officially drive in game now. Both of these are going to be Mercedes DTM cars. They've got, as you can see here on screen, the 2003 model, which is a coupe variant, and then they've got the 2005 DTM C-Class, which was a four-door sedan. So we're going to take a couple of practice laps in each one of these cars. I'm just going to kind of tell you what I think about them, and we'll go from there. So let's hop right in here, and we'll start with the 2003 coupe first. We will do, let's do the black. I like black. And we're going to go ahead and head over to Bathurst here and take a couple of laps, and I'll kind of let you know what I think of it. Guys, if you haven't tried RaceRoom, I don't know why you haven't, because technically RaceRoom is a free-to-play game. I can't tell you how many people every time I do a video on RaceRoom say that they've never given it a try, and you really have no excuse because there are plenty of free cars available and there are plenty of free tracks available. And not to mention, you can personally try every vehicle that they offer in the game. You can try them for free before you buy them, and that's pretty awesome. It's the only game I know that'll allow you to try any car you want before you buy it. So let's hop on track here. Again, we're in the 2003 year model. You will see basically other cars on the track practicing, and they are in fact in the exact same car that we are. Right off the bat, as there is no surprise ever with RaceRoom, the sounds are great. Engine sounds good. Transmission whine sounds good. All of the effects around the track sound good. Oh, okay, right off the bat, I can tell you that with cool tires, you can lock up the brakes pretty easily in this variant of this DTM car. Handling is really good, as to be expected with any DTM car. That's one of my favorite reasons for driving really any DTM car, and RaceRoom probably does it best. Okay, so I am noticing that in this version there is a little bit of understeer on throttle. So if you're in the gas, it does like to understeer a little bit. But if you just let off the throttle just a touch, it kind of gains traction back and turns right in like you want it to. Yeah, a little bit of understeer. That's kind of unusual for a DTM car. Most of the DTM cars, of course this is an older model too, but most of the DTM cars that I drive don't have a lot of understeer. They pretty much go right where you turn them. This car not properly geared for this track, as you can see here as we're getting ready to beat on the rev limiter. And actually, it might have been a little better than I suspected, because it seemed like we hit the end of 6th gear right at the end of that straight, so pretty good. Let's see if we can get the braking down here. Yeah, you're able to modulate the brakes and get it to stop. I do not think there's anti-lock brakes on this car, and I am running all assist turned off. Probably braking a little bit earlier than you can with some practice. Straight line speed is pretty good. Man, I cannot get over the sounds in RaceRoom are the best. They have the best sounds without a doubt. Let's see if we can hold our braking line a little later here. Okay, yeah, it's trying to push, but if you just let out of the gas, it wants to turn in once you let out of the gas a little bit. On or off braking doesn't seem to have an effect. I tried a little trail braking there. It doesn't seem to hurt, hinder you or help you really. So you actually can modulate the braking as well while you're steering. A lot of cars, that will upset the chassis, but this car it allows you to modulate the brake and really get into it while you're steering so that they're not fighting each other. Oh, the sounds off of the wall, man. Yeah, like, yep, it does want to oversteer a little bit until you let off of the throttle. When you let off the throttle, it turns right in. This car is a little bit tricky too. No traction control here, so if you're not careful how quickly you get on the throttle, it will get a little tail happy on you. I don't know the exact horsepower figure here, but it's more than plenty to get the tail loose if you're not careful. Yeah, man, a lot of understeer under throttle. Strange. So we'll finish this lap up here, but yeah, so this is the 2003 version of the Mercedes, and really good. Well worth giving it a try. For now, ooh, I almost got hit from behind. For now, these cars are in their own bracket, on their own, so you will only be racing against the exact same car for now. I'm sure the guys over at RaceRoom have an eventual plan to add some other cars of this era in as well. So let me escape out here, guys. We're gonna quit really quick, and now we're gonna go into a practice, same track, just keep the same track, but now we're gonna hop into the 2005 version. Again, this is the C-Class DTM 2005. This is the sedan version. I expect this to be a little more stable, maybe a little bit quicker, and probably just definitely a little more easy to drive, just because every year these DTM cars seem to get better and better. So we're going to hop into a race here, see how it goes. There is, I can't remember the exact year, but there is a 1990s model Mercedes DTM car, and that thing is a hoot. It's not very high on power, but it is absolutely all over the place. And it is one of my favorite cars to drive in this game. That's why I was so excited to take these new variants for a drive here. Very similar on the cockpit here, guys, as you would expect. Definitely sounds different. I could definitely hear that the opponent car there, the AI car, sounded much different. Still sounds really good, no doubt about it. And we'll see pretty much as soon as we get into this first corner whether or not it's going to understeer like the other car did. We'll brake a little early here. Oh no, the turn-in is much more smooth, much more immediate in this 2005 version. Oh yes, much smoother. I have a feeling you can get around the track much quicker in this car without a whole lot of effort. Again, I'm still running no assist, just like last time. Pretty sure there's no ABS, no traction control in this car as well. We're only talking about a 2-year difference, so I don't imagine there would be much different in the technology. Not getting that understeer. If anything, there may be a little, there may be a little oversteer, at least off throttle. Once I get back around to turn 1 and turn 2, I'll really be able to tell whether or not there's on throttle oversteer or understeer. But I think that there is no understeer. Definitely don't feel it in this car. Oh, you feel the weight as I turn the wheel back and forth. You can definitely feel the weight. I feel the suspension wanting to wind back and forth. Definitely more top speed on this car. Oh yes, you can get into the brakes much harder in this car. Chassis does not get upset. Yep, and I went through there with hard on the throttle, and it did not understeer. So it definitely does not have that understeer that the last car had. We're going to do one more lap here as I ride the rev limiter. Sounds great. Again, I'm going to just re-emphasize one more time that if you have not tried RaceRoom, as I lock up the brakes, if you have... Oh, watch out. Oh, my goodness. What a way to end the session, huh? Wow. I do not believe I have damage turned on, so I should be able to continue. Wow, that was terrible. Got into that curb a little bit too hard there. Terrible turning radius, as you can see. Let's get back going here. I caused a catastrophe there. And that was a good example of how good the crash modeling is. Obviously, I don't have the damage turned on, but the way the cars react, if you hit a curb too hard or something like that, you will go over, as I just did in that situation. But again, as I was saying, you really need to try out RaceRoom if you have not. It's one of my favorite, if not my favorite, sims. Really, really good. And if you're new at sim racing and you're afraid to take the plunge, the assist on this game help you out, but they don't completely take away that simulation feel. It still feels like a simulation. So if you need to use them to get started, you can. And it's still really, really good, and really, it feels really solid. So yes, this is a DTM Mercedes 2005. Wonderful, just like the last one. Out of the two, this is my preference. The 03 is fun too, but it's definitely more loose. I'm not a huge fan of the on-throttle understeer the other car had. This one does not have that. So it just makes it a little more enjoyable to drive. And again, guys, you have to remember in these older race cars, these older DTMs, they're not going to have the traction control and the ABS of the newer cars. So you have to be very, very careful how you come out of a corner and how you brake into a corner. So that's it. Very, very fun. Obviously not blistering lap times, but I'm going to listen as these cars go by. Look, obviously they're braking for the corner, but it sounds great. It sounds good. So all in all, good fun. Well worth going and trying them out. Head over to RaceRoom and try out the two new Mercedes cars that were available as of, I believe, yesterday, maybe the day before. So, guys, if you enjoyed, please leave a like. If you are not subscribed, please click that subscribe button and the notification bell so you're notified every time I drop a new video. Thanks so much for hanging out with me as always, and I will talk to you guys in the next video. We'll see you later.